If the rain keeps away from Manchester on Wednesday, Somerset will fancy their chances of ending this round of matches on top of the LV County Championship table after they forced Lancashire to follow on the third day of their game at the Emirates Old Trafford. Rain had stopped Somerset in their tracks on the previous day when they'd reduced their hosts to 22 for 2 in reply to their own 420. That meant that 249 runs were still wanted to ensure that the follow-on could not be enforced by Marcus Trescothick later on, and Lancashire would have been pleased with the start given to them by Ashwell Prince and Alex Davis, who impressed in his first innings at the top of the order. Steady progress was being made by these two, with some neat shots included by both. Davis did offer Alfonso Thomas a chance of a caught and bowled after 35 minutes of play, but that was spilled, allowing these two batsmen to take their partnership to 78. It was ended soon after that drop by Craig Overton, Prince with a skewed bat playing a ball back onto his stumps to go for 45 with a total on 83 for 3. Carl Brown is not having a good run right now, and he was the next out 20 runs later when he failed to spot George Dockrell's arm ball and padded up to go LBW for 9. All of the Somerset attacked bowled very well. This loose ball from Thomas a rare thing as the visitors continue to put a lot of pressure on their hosts. Dealing with that pressure extremely well was the 19-year-old Davis, who posted just the second 50 of his first-class career with a sublime straight drive off Thomas, which took the youngster to his half-century off 108 balls. That was his 8th 4 and arguably his best. He was playing an innings which showed a lot of maturity from one so young. Giving Johan Myburg a bowl before lunch didn't work out for Somerset. Stephen Croft pulled him for a 6 to ensure that the morning session had been a fairly even one. But the afternoon one very much belonged to Somerset. Croft would not have been welcomed back to the pavilion with open arms after this shot, which saw him easily stumped off Dockrell after making 20. Davies then gave his wicket away after working so hard for his 62 runs, his best yet. He lobbed a drive off Peter Trigo to mid-on to leave with his side now in some trouble on 153 for 6. Trigo then struck again in his next over. This time it was Glenn Chappell who was out, the umpire not having to think too hard about this LBW decision. About the only thing Somerset did wrong in this spell was drop Kyle Hogg at slip, Trescothick with the miss, which didn't take too long to resolve. That's because in Dockrell's next over, Hogg gave the Somerset skipper another opportunity, one which he grabbed with both hands this time. Dockrell now had 3 wickets and had left Lancashire in trouble on 162 for 8, 4 wickets falling for 17 runs in 8 overs since Croft's heave. More than 100 was still required to avoid the follow-on, and Kabir Ali hadn't given up just yet. He took on Dockrell well. But he then lost Tom Smith at the other end when Overton found the edge of his bat after the batsman had made 15 runs in an hour and a quarter. Ali and Simon Kerrigan did at least take their side to 203 for a batting bonus point, but then Ali's resistance was ended by Overton, who had him LBW for 16. Lancashire were all out for 203. They were invited to follow on for the first time at this ground for nearly a decade, 217 runs behind, and they were soon digging a big hole for themselves. Davies was out for the second time in the space of a couple of hours when he was trapped in front by Trigo for 5. Paul Horton then went in the same way to the terrific Trigo, who was finding just enough movement through the air to cause problems. He also removed Prince for 7 in an excellent spell which brought him figures of 3 for 25. With 17 overs of the day still remaining, Somerset may have fancied a few more wickets before the close, but Brown was missed at slip by Trescothick, although it would have been some catch had he held on. Brown made the most of that by batting through the remainder of the day with Andrea Agathangalu, who hit a whole number of boundaries before stumps were drawn. This was encouraging for Lancashire, who will have to bat through much of the final day if they're going to walk away with a draw from this game. Agathangalu and Brown have given them an outside chance of doing that as they added a very important 52 runs before the close, Brown finishing on 22 and his partner on 46. Crucially, they played Dockrell well as he went through 7 overs without success. Lancashire then will start the final day on 95 for 3, still 122 runs adrift of their opponents, who know that a win on Wednesday will see them move to the top of the LV County Championship table. They are at least certain to keep up their unbeaten run if the rain falls.